Now, if I'm finished writing my code and I run it, printing data, which is what I want to get out and what I want to save, we can see that, double check that it's printing everything that I want. We can go into more to make sure it's getting all the columns, the URL. I put something called a row number into it, just so that I can keep track. Now, to save it into the data store, we use this, ScraperWiki.datastore.save, with two very important things. What it is that you want to save. For me, data equals data, because that's what I printed, that's what I'm looking for, that's what I'm happy with. But to make sure that it's in the data store, it runs every time and puts everything in, I have to put unique keys. Now, for this, I've put in a row number. And if you think you add in all the row numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these will be unique for each and it won't override it. However, and this is a mistake that's often made, I have put in this row number in this for loop that puts it into every row. And the for loop is in here, in my definition where I define the links. And when I come out of it, I go into each of these links. Therefore, it's adding rows 1 to 5, 1 to 10 in the first link, and then it's going into the next link and then adding rows 1 to 5, 1 to 10. So, if I try and save it to the data store, or run it now, I get an error. And this error says, error index columns are not unique. So one thing that would be unique with the rows as well is also the URL, because the URL is different when the rows are the same. So I'll put URL in, and then I'll run it again. Now this is printing it, but if I look in the data, it's giving me the data. You can see that the row numbers are the same, but now the URL is different. So this is how I've saved it into the data store. Now, to make sure everything has been saved into the data store, I just hit the scraper tag. And this gives me the data store. It tells me I have 190 rows, which looks correct. And it gives me a couple of examples and all the headings that I have. And if you scroll down, so underneath your table of information, you have a description for your scraper. Please fill this in and please put in the link to what you're scraping. Also, please add tags. This helps our community of users find people who are doing the same things that they want to do or who could help them. Also, you can create a view using your scraper, a table, a map, a graph, a SQL view. Also, if someone else has done this for your piece of information, it appears. So you can look at your scraper and see what our community of users are doing with it. Could give you some good ideas. There's the contributor. I'm the creator. Anyone who's helped me edit also appears there. Please put in, if you know, the license to any of the data. And now this part here is very important. This is how you're going to manage your scraper. If you've scraped a site that's renewed maybe once a week or once a month and you want to keep it as up to date as possible, you need to edit when it's going to schedule. Now I'm just scraping a bunch of CSV files, so I don't want it to run at all. So instead of once a day or every 2 days, I want to hit never, and I'll save that. Also, sometimes if you're saving to the data store and you find your unique keys aren't working, it's saving things twice or it's not saving as many things, you want to clear the data store and then fix your code and then put it back in. This is how you do it here. You clear the data store. I'm going to cancel it. You can also delete your scraper, but beware, there is no undo. So here's all your information. It's in the data store and it's up to you to do what you want with it.